Aromatic and rich vegetable korma. Hi friends, welcome to Cooking Live with Lala. I'm Lala. I'm a home cook, professional baker, and plant-based eater. Whether you are also plant-based or just trying to get more produce into your diet, this show is for you. Let's start cooking. So there are two components to making a korma. In this case, a vegetable korma. So one is cooking the vegetables and the other is making the sauce. We're going to get our vegetables going. I've got a pot of water that's almost boiling back there. I decided for this recipe to not buy any specific vegetables for this dish. I intended to just use whatever I had in the fridge. And normally I use potatoes, sometimes sweet potatoes in this dish. I've made this dish many times. It is so fantastic. But I didn't have potatoes today, so I do have carrots. So I'm going to start with cooking the carrots. Let me throw these in the pot. And I'm just going to salt my water, as I do. All right, now that we've got that started, let's see. What is a korma? I know a lot of people have had kormas. A lot of people have not had kormas. A korma is a type of curry, and a curry is a sauce. The difference between a traditional curry and a korma is that a korma tends to be more creamy. They're often made with either yogurt or coconut milk. Today we're using coconut milk. Often made with nuts as well. We will have nuts in this dish. We're going to use cashews. And specifically, this korma is from South Asia. So let's get started. We're going to cook some aromatics for this dish. And I'm going to start with an onion. I lost my root on that to keep that together. That's crazy. All right, whatever, moving on. So today, this show is not being aired live. This is a recording because I am moving today. What is the date? It's going to be Thursday, June 29th, I think. And I am moving that day. And I decided to not make my life crazy by trying to air a live video on one of my moving days. I think that's a good decision. We should work hard, but we should also just not kill ourselves when we're trying to do things, right? So, like I said, this is a recording. I will be back live. I think it's going to be the 11th of July because the following week after this one airs, I'm getting a new grandson. And I will be helping my daughter give birth and all of those wonderful things. So therefore, I will not be doing a live video. I will be doing a recorded video that day as well. You can hear that my carrots are boiling. We're going to let those boil for about 10 minutes because those are going to take longer to cook than the other vegetables we have. One thing that's, if you're from more of a Western country, America or Western Europe, we tend to, a lot of times when we cook vegetables, to saute them, give them some color to bring out the flavor. In a lot of dishes around the world, they don't do that. A lot of times they will cook vegetables in the sauce or kind of parboil them like we are doing today. So that would be the reason why when I throw this bell pepper in the water and some people are going to be like, oh my God, why are you doing that? Okay. I'm going to get this guy cooking in just a second. So since we're not live today, I don't have my merry little band of people in the chat which I really love. I love cooking and having a group of people in the chat helping me out, asking questions, making comments. It really helps the show go well, I think. So instead, I've asked some people to write some questions for me that I can cover during the show. Sometimes you just need a little bit of filler, am I right? All right. We're gonna use this lucky little burner again so that I can cook the sauce right on camera. Since we're not doing this live, I actually have 2 cameras today. I've had 2 cameras, but we've had some issues with the software. You know, this is a new channel. My husband is producing me, and we're both new at this. I've never been live before. I mean, not like this. And my husband's never really produced before. So there's a lot of new things happening for us. All right, I'm going to turn this on like a medium high. I've already got about a tablespoon of oil in this very well used and well loved pan. As you can tell, this pan's been around the block, for real. Like, I love this pan. This is my favorite pan. It's cast iron. It's a coated cast iron pan. And it's just well loved, and I don't see myself getting rid of it anytime soon. All right, so we're gonna get this onion cooking. Okay, and then I'm going to get the garlic and ginger going. All right, I'm gonna let that cook a couple more minutes. All right, so this recipe calls for about 2 inches of garlic. So I'm just gonna grate this right into, no, I'm not gonna grate it into the pan because the onions aren't cooked yet, but I'm gonna grate it right here. So one of the questions that was asked to me ahead of time is why I wanted to start this channel. And I don't know about you guys, but you know, I go on social media like a lot of other people do, and a lot of people like to post what they've eaten for dinner. And I cannot tell you how many times people just show a picture of some plain rice and like some green beans, and that's their dinner. There's no sauce, there's no joy, there's no flavor, there's just no happiness. And you know, I know today's dish may seem a little bit more complicated, specifically if you don't have all of these spices that we're going to use today. But it is well worth it. It is just really well worth taking the time. I know everybody's busy, but there's just no reason to just eat like rice and green beans. That's just so sad. So sad. And most of my shows are going to be done hopefully in an hour or less. You know, there's a good bit of talking and messing around. So if I was doing these recipes and I wasn't on air, I could probably do them a little easier. I'm sorry, faster is the word I'm looking for. All right. We grated our ginger, and that's going to go in a few minutes when we get some color on these onions. Oh, it smells so good. Don't you guys love the smell of onions cooking? So good, so bueno. My husband's over there shaking his head, nodding yes. All right, so these onions, the garlic, the ginger, some other ingredients, this is the sauce that we are building. I've got 5 cloves of garlic here. I'm just gonna smash them and throw them in. I'm not gonna cut these today because this sauce will be blended. So it doesn't matter if your garlic is not chopped. So anyways, I hope people can learn some things from this channel. Learn how to find some flavor in the foods that you make. Some of my dishes are very easy. Some dishes are more complicated. But what they all have is flavor. You know, guys, if you get a piece of garlic and it just has a brown spot, just cut that off. We don't have to be throwing out the whole thing. Cut the little brown spot off at the end of your garlic, please. Nobody wants to eat that. See this? Can you see that? I don't know. It's kind of blurry, hard to see, but just cut that piece off. Don't put that in your food, man. All right. We're going to give these onions a little bit more time. I'm starting to see some color come on. But I want a lot more color than that. You know, this is you're building flavors in this sauce is what we're doing here. All right, let's get back to the vegetables. So I have the carrots cooking. And to the carrots, I'm going to add broccoli, mushrooms, and peppers. The carrots take longer to cook than the rest of these, so I wanted to give them a head start, but I'm going to go ahead and throw these in now. And I do not want to overcook them. I want to just cook them because you can let them simmer in the sauce for a little bit if you want to. Just for more flavor. Wow, that barely fit in my pot, guys. That could have been ugly. All right, I'm gonna turn my stove up a bit so we can come back to a boil. All right, these are looking really good. Let's see, what was another question that I got? What do I think of the gluten-free products on the market? So I am celiac. I've only known about it for about a year and a half, but I got very, very ill. And I was luckier than a lot of people. A lot of people, it takes years to find out what the problem it was. But honestly, I just knew it was wheat. I don't know how. I just knew it was, and I went and got tested and stuff, and I'm a million times better with all of those gluten products out of my system. It's really crazy. But so what do I think of the gluten-free products on the market? In a word, I think they're trash. They're bad. The pastas are so terrible. I do use the Barilla pasta at times. It seems to me to be the one that stays together the best. For the most part, you have to really cook them al dente or they fall apart. Even when you do cook them al dente, if you reheat them at any point, they will fall apart. All of the bread products pretty much taste like cardboard. Not a fan. I have created a bread recipe, which is really fantastic. And it really has a chew to it. And it has, let's see, more of a thicker crust that gives you that bite that you want when you bite into a piece of bread. So I have created a really good bread recipe. I will probably share that at some point. That takes a little bit of work. That's an involved process. I have not worked on a gluten-free pasta recipe. I was a person who used to make my own pasta before the whole celiac thing. I loved making homemade pasta. Homemade pasta is fantastic. I'm gonna throw in these other aromatics real quick and get these guys going. So yeah, I just really think they're terrible. I'm gonna cut this a tiny bit. I think they're horrible. I do eat them from time to time. If I'm going to somebody's house and we're gonna have a cookout or something, you know, I might get some gluten-free buns from the store. I'm just as, wow, that smell just like smacked me in the face. That is so good. So yeah, I may eat them from time to time. Do I like them? No, not very much. Like I was about to say, I'm just as likely to use a lettuce wrap for like a plant-based burger, because honestly, at least I'm not going to be irritated that the bread tastes bad when I do that. All right, let's check this. That is not boiling yet. All right, you just want to cook this long enough until you're really smelling the aromatics. I'm starting to smell that ginger. I already can smell that garlic a little bit. All right, this is not my recipe. I'll tell you people that it is really hard to find good recipes. I am not lying to you. When you go online and look at recipes, so many of them are bad recipes. This is not a bad recipe. This is a fantastic recipe. And if you don't feel like coming up with your own korma recipe, which isn't necessarily going to be very easy, I really recommend this. I will post a link to this recipe in the description box, and you guys should try it. If you've been dying to make a curry or a korma, you should try this. You're going to be so delighted. And it's hard to mess up this recipe. All right, so the onions are basically cooked along with the ginger and the garlic. I'm gonna turn this off for a second, and I'm gonna put in some tomato paste, and I'm gonna put in all of my seasonings. All right, I'm just making sure I'm not missing something in this recipe. Okay, so this is just tomato paste. BPA-free can. This is organic. Use what you like. We're gonna put the whole can in. This tomato paste is gonna give this dish a lot of that umami flavor that we love. And just because you may be vegan or plant-based doesn't mean you don't love flavor. All right, coming in with the seasonings. I'm gonna go over all the seasonings here. So this is curry and garam masala. I do make my own curry. Let me know if you guys want a link to the curry, the recipe that I use for this curry, let me know. So that's going in. And then I've got cumin, coriander, turmeric, and cardamom. And then this is cloves, fennel, fenugreek, chili flakes, and salt. And guess what, guys? There have been times that I was missing one of these ingredients, and I'm like, heck, I'm gonna make it anyways. Because there's so many seasonings in here. You could get away. Like, I didn't really start using fennel seeds until recently. I typically don't like fennel, but in certain recipes, they do work without giving too strong of a flavor. So I like to keep my fennel light. But I can't tell you how amazing this smells right now. So good. I wish you guys could be here. We really need smell-o-vision. How many years have we been talking about smell-o-vision? When is it ever going to happen? People in this world who make things. I thought I got a... There it is. All right. I'm going to turn this back up. We can get this cooking again. All right. So we're just gonna let this cook for about a minute. And then we're gonna add our coconut milk. This is just a Kroger brand coconut milk. It's nothing special. So as soon as this temperature comes back up, we're going to throw this guy in. And then I've got some cashews that we're going to throw in. These are just raw whole cashews. And I've got some lemon juice. Yes, I am not using real lemons today. I don't have any real lemons today, and this works pretty well, so I'm going to use this. Yeah, real lemon, it would give it like a 1% better flavor, probably. But this stuff is already fantastic. All right. Time to get these things in. It's so quiet without my chat today. Crazy. I'm going to turn this down to medium. I forgot to pre-measure out my lemon juice ahead of time. That's what I would normally do. All right. I need to add some water into this. I think I could move this over a little bit. Ooh, that's very hot. Just want this to be a little bit more centered in this camera so you guys can get a good look at it. Right on. Cool, that worked. You can see the sauce is coming together. So we're going to cook this for a few minutes, let these flavors marry, soften these cashews. I forgot to grab something ahead of time. My boss ain't going to be happy about me looking for stuff while the show's going. All right, I need like a cup and a quarter of water. I already boiled some water ahead of time, thinking I might need it, and guess what I did? Did need it, because I forgot about this step. All right, let's take a look at these veggies and see if they're ready. Broccoli's done, mushrooms are done, peppers are done. Let's check a couple carrots. Carrots done. All right, this is done. The vegetables are cut. They really only take 10-15 minutes to cook depending on what size you cut them, so I'm just gonna leave the lid off. All right, we're gonna let this cook a little bit longer and then we're gonna make a sauce out of that. So the last question that was submitted to me was, what are my favorite plant-based foods? Man, do I love food. I love food. I love so much food. I love to eat a lot of vegetables. That's one of my big things. I love sauces. I love to make sauces. I like to eat things with a grain, either, to be honest, my favorite is a white rice. I love white rice. I don't love brown rice. I pretty much stopped eating it. I do eat quinoa because quinoa has a lot more nutrition than rice, so I try to not eat white rice all the time and mix it up with some quinoa. I love food from all around the world. Love it so much. I'm so grateful to have access to a lot of different types of ingredients and stuff. Now I'm moving to a small town, so I don't know what the shopping situation is going to be there. I think I might just have to take trips to Denver, like at least once a month to go to the Asian market. I don't know if there's going to be an Asian market where I'm moving. I don't feel good about it. I haven't looked it up. So anyways, I don't even think I answered the question, but what are my favorite plant-based foods? I mean, I just, I love everything. If it's got a bunch of different vegetables in a sauce, I'm probably going to love it. The foods that I've been sharing with you guys are the foods that we eat on a regular basis. And I love everything I've shared with you. My taco recipe, oh my God, it is to die for. The coleslaw is amazing. I will share a link at the end of this video, probably with the taco recipe. Can we do the taco recipe, the whole taco show and the taco marinade? Can we put that on there? Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be really good. All right, guys, I'm gonna attempt actually to puree this with this hand blender. We're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be okay. I just turned this off. I'm just waiting for it to stop being crazy. My producer's over here really worried about his equipment. I don't know if this is really gonna work with the cashews. Are you getting splattered? Uh-oh. I've never done this like this before, guys. I always put it in my blender. I think it's time to do my blender. I don't think this is working great. I don't know. It is working somewhat, but I don't know if it's getting these cashews. All right. I wasn't prepared to use my blender, but we're going to do that today. I'm filming this like a live show, so there won't be cuts in this video. It's just going to be whatever happens, happens, and we're just going to do the whole video. So, sorry, Papa, but I have to go down here and get this thing. Okay. So, I am going to blend this with my Ninja blender, which has been like one of the best things I've ever bought in my life. This guy has had surgery. Look at this. He fell off the counter and broke, and then a little bit of liquid started coming out. So we got some tape on there, some industrial tape. It's still hanging in there. I love this blender so much, and it is really on its last leg, and I'm just sad. I just want to give it a funeral or something. And I haven't decided what blender I want next. This Ninja is several years old, and it has been a badass blender, let me tell you. I've made peanut butter in this thing. I've made every sauce. I don't even have a food processor because I've used this as my food processor as well. Although for some things, it's pretty hard to make in this, but it blends everything up. It's just been fantastic. Now, I don't mind personally if my sauce still has a little bits of chunks in it. Probably as long as I don't have a giant piece of garlic. Although my family probably wouldn't care if they got a big piece of garlic in their mouth. I would say this recipe could be pretty adaptable. You could use whatever vegetables that you like, that you have. If there are any of these seasonings you really can't stand, you could probably leave it out and it would still probably be a great recipe. All right, we're gonna call that good. I'm gonna go back there and blend this really fast. I'm gonna cover it with a towel just in case, because warm things tend to expand and I do not want to get burned. That would be terrible. Oh, it's not plugged in. All right, I'm gonna throw this back in the pan. Kind of looks like it resembles a tomato sauce, but you know, this does have tomato paste in it. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so freaking amazing. My whole family is so excited that they're eating this tonight. This will be gone tonight. There's 3 of us in the house right now, and we all love it so much. I usually double this. This doubles really well. I don't make any adjustments when I double it. Maybe I use a little bit less water when I double it. All right. We are going to throw our vegetables in here and this thing is going to be ready. Doesn't that look good? It smells so amazing. You know, if you guys liked this video, if you've enjoyed this and you like this kind of, you know, recorded live type of video, please give this video a like, consider subscribing. It's really, really hard as a new channel to get subscribers. Like, so hard, you guys have no idea. It's like the hardest social media ever. And I'm here every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern with new recipes. I typically will be doing a whole meal, which for this dish, you know, this is a whole meal. There's no dessert, but nobody's hungry after eating this anyways because we're all so full. Yay, it looks so amazing. I can't wait to try it. All right. I pre-made some rice. So I'm gonna get this served up. And I think I'm going to attempt to move this. Get all these things out of the way real quick. If you know me, I need to wipe down my surface because I do not like this looking ugly and dirty and nasty. All right, I have a serving dish. All right, this is what we're looking at. I'm gonna put some cilantro on ours. This would also be good with some cashews on top. You could throw on some yogurt. That would be delicious. A squeeze of lemon would be great if you have fresh lemons. I like to cut my cilantro finely. Even though I like cilantro, I do not like big pieces in my mouth. Sticking to my wet hands. All right, do I have a taster today? Do you want to switch to the other camera? Hi, how are you?
Hi.
You look cute today. You hungry?
Yes.
All right, you want to go grab and get in there and take a bite? It's going to be hot.
Yes.
This is the best part. It's very hot, look, it's steaming.
Always so good.
Is it so good?
I love this.
Well, it's perfect. So amazing. You know, I always give you the plate after, but today I'm just going to keep this plate for myself.
Well, there's more.
Here you go. You can have it. I love you. Take the dish and go. The coconut milk and the cashews make it so creamy. The lemon juice gives just enough acid to make the flavor pop, like make it vibrant. All of the seasonings add a lot of complexity to the dish. Highly recommend you try it. I'm telling you, it's such an easy dish to make. I asked you to like, I asked you to subscribe. I told you about what's gonna happen next week. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched to the end, hooray, you're the best. And I can't wait to see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye.